Hello, I'm Kate Iffy. Welcome to Reading Matters. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get updates on my new videos. Today's story is Nelson Mandela and his struggle for freedom. Nelson Mandela was one of the men that helped shape our world. Enjoy. Nelson Mandela was born on 18th July 1918 in South Africa. He was named Rolihlahla by his parents. His father was an African chief. For several years, white people had taken over land in South Africa that once belonged to black Africans. By 1910, white South Africans held all the power. At the age of 7, Rolihlahla started school. The teacher gave all an English name. This is how Rolihlahla gained the name Nelson. 2 years later, Nelson's father died and he went to live with Chief Jogintaba Dalindyebo. The chief treated Nelson the same as his own son, Justice. Nelson went to school and then on to university. After a disagreement at university, Nelson had to leave without finishing his studies. The chief was not pleased. He tried to arrange marriages for Nelson and Justice, but they ran away. Nelson and Justice found jobs working for a gold mine, where Nelson was a security guard. After a few months, he found a new job. In a law office. During the day, Nelson worked in the law office. He was one of the only 2 black people in the office. At night, he studied for a law degree. Nelson could see how unfair life was for many black South Africans. Even though there were millions of blacks, the white people had most of the important jobs, good houses, schools, and health care. Nelson now belonged to an organization called the African National Congress. The ANC wanted black and white South Africans to be treated the same. But in 1948, new laws made life even more difficult for black people. Blacks and whites had to live in different areas of towns and cities and live separate lives. Black South Africans were not allowed to vote. Nelson and his friends decided to protest against these new laws and force the government to give equal rights to all South Africans. The government often used force against the ANC. Nelson decided it was time to set up another group. Now the government was searching for Nelson. Eventually, in 1962, the government tracked him down, arrested him, took him to court, and sent him to prison. Prison life was very hard. Nelson led protests for better food and treatment for the prisoners. Over the next 27 years, he hardly saw his wife or any of his children. More and more people around the world began to fight for Nelson's release. As a result, prison staff took better care of him. After 18 years, he moved to Pollsmoor prison, where conditions were better. After 27 years in prison, Nelson walked free on the 11th of February 1990. Almost immediately, he began to lead the ANC again and work for equal rights for all South Africans. It was a struggle to get all African people to work together and to persuade the white government that it was time for a change. But in 1994, Nelson became president of South Africa. During his 5 years as president, Nelson helped lead South Africa through some difficult times. He settled arguments between many groups of people in the country. In 1999, Nelson retired. He went to live in the village where he grew up.